Hari Om and welcome to all the divine Atmajyotis to today's contemplation of the chapter 5, Jnana Karma Sanyasa Yoga. So, our contemplation is based on Sriprabhuji's talks. Our contemplation is based on Sriprabhuji's talks um, uh, titled Purna Yoga Darshana. And right now, we are in the 4th chapter, Jnana Karma Sanyasa Yoga. And this time onwards, we have taken the approach of each one of you framing questions based on shlokas. So you might have heard Prabhuji's talks, and that's why our today's chanting also was a full chanting. So in a way, we are getting to see the whole flow of questions and answers, the pattern of it, the dialogue or the samvada between Arjuna and Krishna. That way, we are hopefully able to see the full picture as being narrated in Bhagavadgita. And then by listening to Prabhuji's talks, you might have also gotten an insight into what is that this chapter is giving us as guidance. So therefore now, the way we are going to be contemplating is, you will be framing the questions and we will, each one of us will look at how to view that question and then provide our views about that. So we had decided that you will be taking up 4.2 till 4.5 as potentially the shlokas to frame the questions. So I want to now open it up. Anybody has any particular questions that you want to first bring up? So 4.2 is about evam parampara praptam imam rajarshayo viduhu. So where he's talking about how it was lost and how it, in the first one, he taught about how he taught. Next, he talks about how it was lost to the world. And then he's talking about this is supreme, this is highest, this is ancient. And the ones who understand this will be able to find the liberation, and I'm teaching to you. However, Arjuna is asking the question, how can it be that Vivaswan is so long before and you are so new, you're standing in front of me, how you could have taught? And then Bhagavan starts speaking about how he knows about every birth of us, whereas Arjuna is unaware. So these are the shlokas from 4.1 to 4.5. So what questions are coming that we want to frame?
Vijayji, may I ask?
Yes, please.
So why it was, I think, shloka 4.3, right? Why does Lord Krishna choose only Arjuna?
Okay, wonderful question.
There are so many characters in
Yeah.
especially Dharmaraya, who is supposed we always equate to being the righteous one.
Yeah.
So then why did he choose Arjuna to tell this?
Yeah. Supposedly Dharmaraya is said to be epitome of
Righteousness.
right conduct.
Yeah.
Then why Arjuna is the question. Excellent. Very nice question. Any other question that is coming based on these five shlokas, 1 to 5? Krishnaji, Padmaji.
Yeah. So when this, am I audible, Vijayji?
Yes, yes.
Okay. So the knowledge was transferred by a chosen person, right? Like who could like a king, and first it was sources from Vivaswan's.
Yeah. Krishnaji, we are not able to hear you. Okay, looks like some internet issue with Krishnaji's side. Meanwhile, Padma, you have any questions to frame?
No idea, sir.
Okay.
I'm just catching up with the rest of the talks as well, sir. So next week onwards, I'll participate.
No, but here the approach is slightly different, Padmaji. You don't have to necessarily frame your questions
Yeah.
based on the talk.
No, I didn't see the video of Guruji also, so I just wanted to see that. I'm just going through the previous questions.
Huh. So what we are doing is, it's a different exercise or approach where we look at the question shloka, and then like how Smitaji just now framed the question, why only
Correct.
Arjuna could come, right? Um, uh, for that matter, in every shloka, we can frame several questions. As you see here,
Correct.
just on 4.1, some 3 questions were framed.
Yeah.
Right? Now in 4.2, as an example, so why is he talking about, it being lost to the world? 4.2, this is a reference to it being lost to the world. Why does Krishna tell us about this spiritual tradition being lost to the world? What is the relevance of telling us that? Why does he want us to know that, it was lost? On one hand, he's saying that it was passed on in a
Correct.
continuous tradition, but he's also telling us about it being lost to the world. So what is the relevance of that? Could be one question.
Yeah.
The other question that can also arise is, in every shloka, or in many shlokas, he refers to Arjuna with different names. So here he is referring to him as parantapa, subduer of enemies. So why Arjuna is being referred with so many different names? So like that, we can frame multiple questions, right?
Yeah, got it.
And here he's saying it's a supreme secret, and I'm revealing it to you. One is what Smitaji asked. Okay, why only Arjuna? But here he's also saying, I'm revealing it to you because you are my friend and my devotee. So it's like one of those, what we call as nepotism, right? Only my own relatives, right?
We'll get it. Yeah.
So why reference to friend
Or
and
devotee.
devotee? And he's saying that because you are my friend and devotee, you can understand this transcendental wisdom. So how does, okay, first of all, what is transcendental wisdom?
Knowledge.
Right?
Yeah.
How does being a friend of Krishna
Help in understanding it.
Devotee of Krishna helps one in understanding this wisdom? Is Krishna ji back?
Yeah, Vijay, I'm back.
Okay. You were framing some questions, and that's when we lost you. What were you framing?
Yeah, I was framing the first. You were just saying, right? So the knowledge, to transfer knowledge, right? It was the selected person or the right person was chosen to transfer this knowledge. But again, it was lost. because it was not transferred to everyone. It was first transferred to Vivaswan, and then following to uh, Manu, and then with the Exoku kings. And also in the next slokas also is saying it was transferred kings by to kings, and to make it it is available to everyone and it is followed. Then why it was lost? That was my actual question.
Okay.
So and also
Does this capture your question?
yes.
Why does Krishna tell us about the spiritual
4.2a.
tradition being lost?
Yes.
Okay,
Yeah,
all right.
4.2a.
Okay.
And it is lost, and he is also saying like I'll be coming back once it is not followed or not
That he brings later
completely
as he starts answering.
followed.
As he starts answering in the 7 onward.
Yeah.
Yeah. We'll go to
Yes.
that next. But from the 1 to 5, in the
Sure.
1 to 5, you have any other questions? So we have kind of traveled up to
Now,
3.
one more thing, same as Smitaji's. Why only
Why only
to
Arjun?
Arjuna?
Right. Yeah.
Yeah, these two I had to say.
Then, this is a very natural question. What is there in the 4.4, which we have in a way contemplated. So how can Krishna, standing in front of Arjuna, how could Krishna, standing in front of Arjuna, have instructed Vivaswan Surya Bhagavan? Which is a very natural question for us also. And then in the 4.5, he says, I am aware of all the births. What does aware of all births before mean? So maybe we can begin with these questions for now. And as we go further, as we are contemplating, if any other questions come up, we can continue. Is this okay? All right. So let's begin with the first one here, 4.2. Why does Krishna tell us about the spiritual tradition being lost to the world? So as usual, we can go around and we can share our views, our perspectives. Padma Amma, you want to start?
ಸರ್ ಇವಾಗ ಏನು ಫ್ರೇಮ್ ಮಾಡಿರೋ ಅಷ್ಟು ಕ್ವಶನ್ಸ್ಗೂ ಮೊದಲು ನಾವು ಅರ್ಜುನ ಯಾರು ಮತ್ತೆ ಕೃಷ್ಣ ಯಾರು ಅನ್ನೋದನ್ನ ತಿಳ್ಕೊಳ್ಳೋಣ. ಅರ್ಜುನ ಒಬ್ಬ ಜೀವಿ, ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಶ್ರೀಕೃಷ್ಣ ಭಗವಂತ. ನಾವು ಭೌತಿಕವಾಗಿ ತಿಳ್ಕೊಳ್ಳೋದು, ಮತ್ತೆ ಹೆಚ್ಚಿನ ಜ್ಞಾನ ಉಳ್ಳುವಂತಹ ಕೃಷ್ಣ. ಆ ಒಂದು ಜ್ಞಾನವನ್ನ, ತಿಳುವಳಿಕೆ ಇಲ್ಲದೆ ಇರುವಂತಹ ಸ್ಥಿತಿಯಲ್ಲಿ ಇರುವಂತವನು ಅರ್ಜುನ. ಆಧ್ಯಾತ್ಮಿಕವಾಗಿ ನಾವು ತಿಳ್ಕೊಳ್ಬೇಕು ಅಂತಂದ್ರೆ ಒಂದು ಸೂಕ್ಷ್ಮ ಶರೀರ, ಮತ್ತೆ ಅದಕ್ಕೆ ನಡಿಬೇಕು ಅಂತಂದ್ರೆ ಭಗವಂತನಾದ ಸಾಕ್ಷಿ ಆತ್ಮನ ಶಕ್ತಿ ಇದ್ರೆ ಮಾತ್ರ ಆ ಜೀವ ನಡೆಯೋದಕ್ಕೆ ಸಾಧ್ಯ ಇರುವಂತಹದ್ದು. ಒಬ್ಬ ಮನುಷ್ಯನಲ್ಲಿ ಸ್ಥೂಲ ಶರೀರ, ಸೂಕ್ಷ್ಮ ಶರೀರ, ಮತ್ತೆ ಅವೆರಡು ಜಡವಾದದ್ದೇ. ಅವತ್ತು ನಡಿಬೇಕಾದ್ರೆ ಈ ಭಗವಂತನ ಶಕ್ತಿಯಾದಂತ ಸಾಕ್ಷಿ, ಅದು ಆತ್ಮ ಅನ್ನೋದು ಇರಬೇಕು. ಆ ಆತ್ಮವಿದ್ದಾಗ ಮಾತ್ರ ಈ ಸ್ಥೂಲ ಶರೀರವಾಗ್ಲಿ ಸೂಕ್ಷ್ಮ ಶರೀರವಾಗ್ಲಿ ನಡೆಯುವಂತಹದ್ದು. ಆ ಒಂದು ಸೂಕ್ಷ್ಮ ಶರೀರ ಅಂತಂದ್ರೆ ಒಂದು ಮನಸ್ಸು. ನಾವು 2ನೇ ಚಾಪ್ಟರ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಸ್ವಲ್ಪ ಡಿಸ್ಕಸ್ ಮಾಡಿದೀವಿ ಅನ್ಸುತ್ತೆ, ಏನೇನೇ ಇರ್ಬೇಕು, 24 ಅಂಶಗಳು ಎಲ್ಲಾನು. ಮನಸ್ಸಿಗೆ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಮನಸ್ಸು ಅಂತಂದ್ರೆ ಬಂಡಲ್ ಆಫ್ ಥಾಟ್ಸ್. ಅದಕ್ಕೆ ಅವು ಹೇಗೆ ಚೈತನ್ಯಗೊಳ್ಳುತ್ತೆ ಅಂತಂದ್ರೆ ಒಂದು ಈ ಚೈತನ್ಯ ಶಕ್ತಿಯಾದಂತ ಆತ್ಮನ ಬೆಳಕು ಅದರ ಮೇಲೆ ಬಿದ್ದಾಗ ಅದು ಪ್ರತಿಫಲನ ಆಗತ್ತೆ. ಅದು ಚಿದಾಭಾಸ. ಆ ಚಿದಾಭಾಸವೂ ಸಹ ಭಗವಂತನ ಪ್ರತಿಫಲನವೇ, ಅದು ಬೇರೆ ಅಲ್ಲ. ಅದಕ್ಕೂ ಸಹ ಶಕ್ತಿ ಇರುತ್ತೆ. ಅದರ ಶಕ್ತಿಯಿಂದ ಸ್ಥೂಲ ಶರೀರದ ಚಟುವಟಿಕೆಗಳು ನಡೆಯುತ್ತೆ. ಆಗ ಈ ಅಹಂ ಅನ್ನೋದು ಯಾವಾಗ ಚಿದಾಭಾಸ ಉಂಟಾಗುತ್ತೋ ತಕ್ಷಣವೇ ಅಹಂ ಅನ್ನೋದು ಎದ್ಕೊಳ್ಳುತ್ತೆ. ಅದು ಹೊರ ಪ್ರಪಂಚವನ್ನ ನೋಡುವಂಥದ್ದು. ಅದಕ್ಕೆ ಈ ಒಂದು ಆವರಣ ಶಕ್ತಿಯಿಂದ ನಾನ್ ಯಾರು ಅನ್ನೋದು ಮರ್ತೋಗ್ಬಿಟ್ಟಿದೆ. ಅಂತಹ ಜೀವಿ ಇವಾಗ ನಮಗೆಲ್ಲಾನು ನಾನ್ ಯಾರು ಅನ್ನೋದು ಗೊತ್ತಿಲ್ಲ. ನಾನು ಭಗವಂತ ಸ್ವರೂಪಿ ಅನ್ನೋದು ಗೊತ್ತಿಲ್ಲ. ಅಂತಹ ನಾನು ಇವಾಗ ಅರ್ಜುನ. ಭಗವಂತ ನನಗೆ ಈ ಹೊರ ಪ್ರಪಂಚದಲ್ಲಿ ಕಳೆದು ಹೋಗ್ಬಿಟ್ಟು ನಾನು ಏನ್ ಮಾಡ್ಬೇಕು ಅನ್ನೋದು ಗೊತ್ತಿಲ್ಲ. ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಅರ್ಜುನ ಅಂತಂದ್ರೆ ಒಬ್ಬ ಮುಮುಕ್ಷು. ನಾನು ನಿಜವಾಗ್ಲೂ ಸತ್ಯವನ್ನ ನಾನು ಅರ್ಥಕೊಳ್ಬೇಕು ಅಂತ ಕಾತುರತೆಯಿಂದ ಇರುವಂತಹ ಒಬ್ಬ ಜೀವಿ. ಆ ಜೀವಿಗೆ ಅಂತಹ ಮುಮುಕ್ಷತ್ವದಲ್ಲಿರುವಂತಹ ಒಬ್ಬ ಜೀವಿಗೇನೆ ಜ್ಞಾನವನ್ನು ಕೊಡೋದಕ್ಕೆ ಸಾಧ್ಯ. ನನಗೆ ಬೇಕು ಅಂತಂದ್ರೆ ಮಾತ್ರನೇ ಯಾವುದೇ ಒಂದನ್ನ ಕೊಡೋದಕ್ಕೆ ಸಾಧ್ಯ. ಅದ್ರ ಬಗ್ಗೆ ಇಂಟ್ರೆಸ್ಟ್ ಇಲ್ಲ ಅಂತಂದ್ರೆ ಅಂತಹ ವ್ಯಕ್ತಿಗೆ ಯಾವುದನ್ನು ಕೊಡೋದಕ್ಕೆ ಸಾಧ್ಯ ಆಗಲ್ಲ. ಯಾವುದೇ ಇವಾಗ ಒಂದು ದಾನ ಮಾಡ್ಬೇಕಾದ್ರೂ ಅಷ್ಟೇ, ಅಕ್ಸೆಪ್ಟ್ ಮಾಡೋರಿದ್ರೆ ಮಾತ್ರ ಅದನ್ನ ದಾನ ಕೊಡೋಕ್ ಸಾಧ್ಯ. ಹಾಗೆ ನನಗೆ ಬೇಕು ಬೇಕು ಅಂತ ಕಾತುರತೆಯಿಂದ ಇರುವಂತಹ ಅರ್ಜುನನಿಗೆ ಈ ಭಗವಂತ ಈ ದಿವ್ಯವಾದ ಜ್ಞಾನವನ್ನ ಕೊಟ್ಟ. ಹೇಗೆ ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಕೃಷ್ಣ ಅಲ್ಲೇ ಇದ್ದಾನೆ, ನೀನ್ ಇಲ್ಲೇ ಇದೆಯಲ್ಲಪ್ಪ, ನೀನ್ ಎಲ್ಲೋ ಯಾವಾಗ್ಲೋ ಹೇಳ್ದಿ ವಿವಸ್ವಾನ್ಗೆ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳ್ತಿದ್ಯಾ ಅಂತಂದ್ರೆ ಅದು ಎಟರ್ನಲ್, ಯಾವಾಗ್ಲೂ ಸದಾ ಇರುವಂತಹದ್ದು. ಅದು ಸನಾತನ. ಈ ಒಂದು ಆತ್ಮ ಅನ್ನೋದು ಅದು ಅದಕ್ಕೆ ಯಾವ ಆದಿ ಅಂತ್ಯ ಅನ್ನೋದು ಇಲ್ಲ, ಬದಲಾವಣೆನೂ ಇಲ್ಲ. ಅದರ ಒಂದು ಬೆಳಕಿನಲ್ಲೇ ಈ ಬೇರೆ ಎಲ್ಲ ಚಟುವಟಿಕೆಗಳು ನಡೆಯೋದು. ಆ ಒಂದು ಚೈತನ್ಯ ಶಕ್ತಿ ಇಲ್ಲ ಅಂತಂದ್ರೆ ಈ ಸೂಕ್ಷ್ಮ ಶರೀರವೂ ಇಲ್ಲ, ಮತ್ತೆ ಸ್ಥೂಲ ಶರೀರವೂ ಇಲ್ಲ, ಮನುಷ್ಯನೂ ಇಲ್ಲ. ಆದ್ರೆ ಆ ಒಂದು ಚೈತನ್ಯ ಶಕ್ತಿ ನನ್ನಲ್ಲಿದೆ ಅನ್ನೋದು ಈ ಜೀವಿಗೆ ಮರ್ತು ಹೋಗ್ಬಿಟ್ಟಿದೆ. ಆದ್ರಿಂದ ಈ ತಿಳುವಳಿಕೆಯನ್ನ ಬೇರೆ ಯಾರು ಕೊಡೋದಕ್ಕೆ ಸಾಧ್ಯ ಇಲ್ಲ. ಅದಕ್ಕೆ ಈ ಒಂದು ಭಗವಂತ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಆತ್ಮವೇ ಕೊಡ್ಬೇಕಾಗಿರುತ್ತೆ. ಆದ್ರಿಂದ ಆತ್ಮ ಹೇಗೆ ಇವೆ ಎರಡೂನು ಫ್ರೆಂಡ್ಸ್ ಮತ್ತೆ ರಿಲೇಟಿವ್ ಅಂತಂದ್ರೆ ಅವೆರಡು ಜೊತೆಲೇ ಇರೋದಕ್ಕೆ ಫ್ರೆಂಡ್ಸ್. ಮತ್ತೆ ರಿಲೇಟಿವ್ ಅಂತಂದ್ರೆ ಅದೇ ಅದು ಬೇರೆ ಇದು ಬೇರೆ ಅಲ್ಲ. ಆತ್ಮ ಬೇರೆ ಅಲ್ಲ, ಈ ಚಿದಾಭಾಸ ಬೇರೆ ಅಲ್ಲ. ಆದ್ರೆ ಗೊತ್ತಿಲ್ಲ ಈ ಚಿದಾಭಾಸಕ್ಕೆ ಮತ್ತೆ ಈ ಅಹಮ್ಮಗೆ ಗೊತ್ತಿಲ್ಲ ನಾನು ಭಗವಂತನ ಸ್ವರೂಪ ಅನ್ನೋದು ಗೊತ್ತಿಲ್ಲ. ಅದಕ್ಕೆ ಬೇರೆ ಯಾರು ತಿಳ್ಸಕ್ಕಾಗಲ್ಲ, ಬೇರೆ ಯಾರು ಇಲ್ಲ. ಇನ್ನೂ ಹೆಚ್ಚಿನ ಜ್ಞಾನ ಹೊಂದಿರುವಂತವ್ರು ಇದ್ರೆ ತಾನೆ. ಆದ್ರಿಂದ ಭಗವಂತನೇ ಕೊಟ್ಟ ಅನ್ನೋದು ನನ್ನ ಅಭಿಪ್ರಾಯ ಇಲ್ಲಿ. ಮತ್ತೆ ಏನ್ ಬಿಟ್ಟಿದ್ದೀನಿ? ಸುಮಾರು ಕವರ್ ಮಾಡಿದ್ದೀನಿ ಅನ್ಸುತ್ತೆ. ಏನಾದ್ರು ಕ್ವಶನ್ಸ್ ಇದ್ರೆ ಕೇಳಿದ್ರೆ ನನಗೆ ಗೊತ್ತಿರುತ್ತೆ ಹೇಳ್ತೀನಿ.
ಓಕೆ, ನೀವು ಎಲ್ಲನ್ನು ಸೇರಿಸಿ ಒಟ್ಟಿಗೆ ಹೇಳ್ಬಿಟ್ರಿ ನೀವು. ಓಕೆ, ಈಚ್ ಒನ್ ಕ್ಯಾನ್ ಐದರ್ ಚೂಸ್ ಟು ಗೋ ಕ್ವೆಶ್ಚನ್ ಬೈ ಕ್ವೆಶ್ಚನ್, ಆರ್ ಯು ಕ್ಯಾನ್ ಟೇಕ್ ದ ಅಪ್ರೋಚ್ ದಟ್ ಪದ್ಮಾ took. It's up to you. But the reason for framing the questions is so that you can have a pointed view of that particular aspect. So yeah, so up to each one of you. Krishna ji.
Vijay ji.
Yeah.
Yes, Smita ji.
Sorry to interrupt.
Yeah.
ಪದ್ಮಮ್ಮ ಒಂದು ವರ್ಡ್ ಹೇಳಿದ್ರು, ಮುಮುಕ್ಷು. ಅರ್ಜುನದ ಬಗ್ಗೆ ಡಿಸ್ಕ್ರೈಬ್ ಅರ್ಥ ಆಗ್ಲಿಲ್ಲ ಅದು. ಮುಮುಕ್ಷು ಅಂದ್ರೇನು? ಹೊಸ ಪದ ಕೇಳಿಲ್ಲ ನಾನು ಮುಂಚೆ.
ಹೇಳ್ಬಿಡ್ಲಾ? ಸರ್ ಹೇಳ್ತೀರಾ?
ಅಮ್ಮ ಪದ್ಮಮ್ಮ ನಿಮಗೆ ಕೇಳ್ತಾ ಇರೋದವರು, ನೀವು ಇವಾಗ ಕೊಟ್ಟಿರೋದು ನೀವಿವಾಗ
ಸರ್ ಹೇಳ್ತೀನಿ,
ಅಲ್ಲ,
ಖಂಡಿತ
ನಾನು ಫಸ್ಟ್
ಹೇಳ್ತೀನಿ.
ಟೈಮ್ ಆ ಪದ ಕೇಳಿದ್ದೀನಿ, ಅದಕ್ಕೆ
ಅದೇ ಹೇಳ್ಬೇಕು ಅದು. ನಿಮಗ್ ಗೊತ್ತಿಲ್ಲ ಅನ್ನೋದು ನಂಗೆ ಗೊತ್ತಿಲ್ಲ. ಇವಾಗ ಏನಾದ್ರೂ ಒಂದು ತಿಳ್ಕೊಳ್ಬೇಕಾದ್ರೆ ಅಥವಾ ಏನಾದ್ರೂ ಮಾಡ್ಬೇಕಾದ್ರೆ ಒಂದು ಅರ್ಹತೆ ಅನ್ನೋದು ಬೇಕು. ಈಗ 1ನೇ ಕ್ಲಾಸ್ಗೆ ಮಗು ಸೇರ್ಕೊಳ್ಬೇಕು ಅಂತಂದ್ರೆ ಅದಕ್ಕೆ 5 ವರ್ಷ 10 ತಿಂಗಳು ಆಗಿರ್ಬೇಕು. ಮತ್ತೆ ಅಪ್ಪ ಅಮ್ಮ ಫೀಸ್ ಕಟ್ಬೇಕು. ಆ ಮಗುಗೆ ಅರ್ಥ ಆಗುವ ಹಾಗೆ ಬುದ್ಧಿನೂ ಇರ್ಬೇಕು. ಬುದ್ಧಿನೇ ಇಲ್ದೇ ಇರೋಂಥದ್ದು ಅಥವಾ ಸ್ಕೂಲ್ಗೆ ಬರ್ದೇ ಇರೋಂತಹದ್ದು ಅಥವಾ ವಯಸ್ಸು ಇಲ್ದೇ ಇರೋಂಥ ಆ ಕ್ಲಾಸ್ಗೆ ಅಷ್ಟು ವಯಸ್ಸಾಗಿರ್ಬೇಕು ಅನ್ನೋದು ಇದೆಲ್ಲ ಅರ್ಹತೆಗಳು. ಹಾಗೆ ಆತ್ಮಜ್ಞಾನವನ್ನ ತಿಳ್ಕೊಳ್ಬೇಕಾದ್ರೆ ಕೆಲವು ಅರ್ಹತೆಗಳಿರುತ್ತೆ. ಅದಕ್ಕೆ ಸಾಧನ ಚತುಷ್ಟಯ ಅಂತಂದ್ಬಿಟ್ಟು ಹೇಳ್ತಾರೆ. ಸಾಧನ ಚತುಷ್ಟಯ ಅನ್ನೋದು ಶಂಕರಾಚಾರ್ಯರು ವಿವರಿಸಿ ಹೇಳಿದ್ದಾರೆ. ವಿವೇಕ, ವೈರಾಗ್ಯ, ಮತ್ತೆ ಷಟ್ ಸಂಪತ್ತಿ ಹಾಗೂ ಮುಮುಕ್ಷತ್ವ ಅಂತ. ಮುಮುಕ್ಷತ್ವ ಅನ್ನೋದು ಕೊನೆಯ ಒಂದು ಅರ್ಹತೆ. ವಿವೇಕ, ವೈರಾಗ್ಯ ಸಾಮಾನ್ಯವಾಗಿ ಎಲ್ಲರಿಗೂ ಗೊತ್ತಿರುವಂತಹದ್ದೇ. ನಮಗೆ ಯಾವ್ದು ಡಿಸ್ಕ್ರಿಮಿನೇಷನ್ ಮತ್ತೆ ವೈರಾಗ್ಯ, ಯಾವ ಡಿಸ್ಕ್ರಿಮಿನೇಟ್ ಮಾಡಿದಾಗ ನಮಗ್ ಗೊತ್ತಾಗುತ್ತೆ ಯಾವ್ದನ್ನ ನಾವು ಆರಿಸ್ಕೊಳ್ಬೇಕು, ಯಾವ್ದನ್ನ ಬಿಡ್ಬೇಕು ಅನ್ನೋದು. ಅವಾಗ ವೈರಾಗ್ಯ ಆಯ್ತು. ಷಡ್ ಸಂಪತ್ತಿಗಳು ಅಂತಂದ್ರೆ ಶಮ, ದಮ, ತಿತಿಕ್ಷ, ಉಪಾರತಿ ಮತ್ತೆ ಶ್ರದ್ಧಾ ಹಾಗೂ ಸಮಾಧಾನ ಅನ್ನೋದು ಈ 6 ಷಟ್ ಸಂಪತ್ತಿಗಳು. ಇಷ್ಟು ಕ್ವಾಲಿಫಿಕೇಶನ್ ಒಬ್ಬ ನಾನು ಆತ್ಮಜ್ಞಾನವನ್ನ ಪಡಿತೀನಿ, ನಾನು ಇದನ್ನ ತಿಳ್ಕೊಳ್ಬೇಕು ಅಂತ ಕಾತರತೆಯಿಂದ ಇರುವಂತಹವನಿಗೆ ಇರುವಂತಹ ಕ್ವಾಲಿಫಿಕೇಶನ್ಸ್. ಕೊನೆಯದಾಗಿ ಮುಮುಕ್ಷತ್ವ, ನಾನು ಪಡಿತೀನಿ, ಏನೇ ಆಗ್ಲಿ ನಾನು ಇದನ್ನ ನಾನು PhD ಮಾಡ್ತೀನಿ ಅಂತ ಇರುವಂಥವನು. ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಹೇಗೆ ವಿವರಿಸಿದ್ದಾರೆ ಅಂತಂದ್ರೆ, ಒಬ್ಬ ಮನುಷ್ಯ ನೀರಿನಲ್ಲಿ ಮುಳುಗ್ತಾ ಇರ್ತಾನೆ. ಆ ಮನುಷ್ಯ ಹೇಗೆ ಜೀವಕ್ಕೋಸ್ಕರ ಹಾತೊರಿತಾನೋ ಆ ಒಂದು ಇದನ್ನ ಉಪಮಾನವನ್ನ ಕೊಟ್ಟಿದ್ದಾರೆ. ಮುಮುಕ್ಷತ್ವ ಅಂತಂದ್ರೆ ನಾನು ಆಧ್ಯಾತ್ಮ ಜ್ಞಾನ, ನಾನು ಈ ಸತ್ಯವನ್ನ ತಿಳಿಬೇಕು ಅಂತ ಇರುವಂತಹವನಿಗೆ ಇರುವಂತಹ ಕಾತುರತೆ, ಅದಕ್ಕೆ ಮುಮುಕ್ಷತ್ವ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳ್ತಾರೆ. ಇಷ್ಟು ಮಟ್ಟಿಗೆ ನನಗೆ ಗೊತ್ತಿರೋದು.
ಸ್ಮಿತಾಜಿ, ನಿಮ್ಗೆ
ತುಂಬಾ ಚೆನ್ನಾಗಿ ಎಕ್ಸ್ಪ್ಲೇನ್ ಮಾಡಿದ್ರು. ಥ್ಯಾಂಕ್ ಯು.
ವೆರಿ ನೈಸ್. Krishnaji, how do you want to share your views, like how Padma did, or you want to go question by question? Up to you.
Okay, I'll go question by question. Okay, 4.2a. Okay, why does Krishna tell us about his spiritual tradition being lost to the world? So I think like he's highlighting here that Krishna is highlighting that there is a knowledge which is supreme or highest, and which is been universal truth, which is applicable or which has to be understood by all, but there is something gap in the current understanding with the actual knowledge. So he wants to on 4.2 is being referred with so many different names, particularly parantapa, right?
Sorry.
Yeah.
There seems to be some internet problem. It is not very clear. Your last thoughts about the first question. Why does he tell us about tradition being lost to the world? We heard till there's some gaps in the knowledge.
Okay. Yeah, today I have some unstable internet. So, am I
You're audible.
Audible now?
You're audible, yeah.
Okay. Well, I was saying there is a lack of understanding in gap in understanding of has been misunderstood. So there are two layers of knowledge. So what Krishna is trying to differentiate, like there is two knowledges. Whatever you are having, Arjun, it's of changed knowledge or interpreted in a wrong way. But there is another knowledge which is being lost, which is the external truth. So that's what I was trying to tell on A 4.2a. On B
But the
4.2b,
question, Krishna ji, is
is of
the question is what
uh,
is the relevance of telling Arjuna about that? Why is he informing Arjuna and through Arjuna to all of us? Why is he telling us about that? It's being lost.
because we believe, or I believed earlier, like whatever is in my mind is all truth, and there is a wrong understanding in one's. Arjuna was confused state, right? So he wants to tell the source of that transmitted and how it is being done and how this current world is understanding this knowledge, right? So Arjuna and we are like we understood the world in a different way, whatever we pursue through senses. So he's pointing to that, I feel.
Okay.
Yeah. So that's my understanding.
Sure. Yeah. Please proceed.
So with the B, what I think is as it continues, right? So even though we are here, so each one of us has particular specific actions to be performed, and there is a reason behind for this birth. Uh, so here that is also being forgotten consciously or unconsciously. So he's saying you are a subduer of enemies. So he's trying to say you are not what you're thinking and you are not your emotions in a way, and he's uh, trying to explain Arjuna what is truly you are. That's why I think he's referring to different names. So he's specifically pointing to this birth and why he has born and taken this birth. That's about
Can you
point B.
clarify that thought
That's
further?
my
So, if he has to teach him about something, what is the point in calling him by different names? What is the relevance of
mm,
subduer of enemies, parantapa, to what he's teaching?
mm. Yes, right. So there is one complete consciousness, and there is this. We are like an instrument. There is a purpose for that. It is to do that purpose itself, being in a state of consciousness, not get attached too much to the whatever the actions we perform.
Yeah,
So even
which
you
is
are
correct.
that, but
Which
you
is
are here
correct.
for some.
But the
Yeah,
question is, by calling him as subduer of
why
enemies, how is that?
he is highlighting. He's highlighting. Yeah, I got it. I'll try to clarify that. My understanding. He's highlighting your job I mean, kill adharma, maintain dharma. So he's highlighting the role. He's referring these phrases or sentences.
Okay, okay. That's how you connect to that.
Yeah. Yeah. Yes, that's how I'm connecting.
Okay.
Yeah, I will want to listen after that. Can I continue with others?
Okay, so you want to only focus on 4.2 for now?
Yeah.
Okay,
Then
sure.
upcoming might change with this clarification. That's why.
All right. Yeah. Wonderful. Thank you, Krishnaji.
Thank you, Vijay.
Smitaji, how do you like to share?
I'll go by question section.
Okay, sure.
Why does Krishna tell us about the spiritual tradition being lost to the world? So I understand this as Krishna is trying to, or rather not trying to, Krishna is establishing the fact that this is not new. This is something that has been passed on to the world. However, it has been lost in translation as it has not come from the right, or rather from kings, from started with Surya Deva, then Manu, and to the kings below. The right spiritual teachers have not, or passed it properly. He is establishing the fact that it is not something new, or it is something. It is like I am revising the. It is like in school, right? It is you are telling the student when you show an experiment, you all give the theory, you give the information, you give all the proof and evidence that this occurs, right? So it is not something that is new, that I'm specially made for you, but this is something that has been passed down from generations, or from cosmic generations. That Bhagavan is trying to is saying that it is already there. You don't have you don't have to uh, believe, uh, you know uh, doubt it. It is establishing the fact. Is that what I see it as? That so you take, if you are a true devotee and my friend and my love for me, then you take it as I am saying it. Don't it is unquestionable. That's how Bhagwan is saying that you don't have to question it. It is existing already.
Is he saying it is unquestionable?
No, that was I knew the minute I said it, I knew it was a wrong word. When I say unquestionable, I mean he's saying this is an established fact. You don't have to not questionable, but you don't have to doubt it on that. If you doubt the very existence of Lord Krishna, if you doubt the very wisdom, then you are not. Then there is no point in. You will keep questioning anything and everything. Say, why he should fight with brothers? Why is he teaching him to go and fight? You will doubt every question in that sense. So if you are my friend. I'm skipping, I know, but somewhere I was also reading this. When he says you're my friend and devotee, that is the that is the basic qualification to even have a conversation with me. See, if I don't trust Mr. Vijayji or Padmaji, or if I don't believe in what you're saying, then this session is of no value to me. I'll keep sumne time pass ಮಾಡ್ತಾರೆ 6 ಗಂಟೆಗೆ ಕೂರಿಸ್ತಾರೆ. I'll keep thinking like that. Right. So if that basic establishment, it is not blind faith, like a mother and a child, amma andre ನನಗೆಲ್ಲ ಮಾಡ್ಕೊಡ್ತಾರೆ, amma andre ಹೀಗೆ, and that is established foundation. It is that you can't question the foundation. If you keep questioning the foundation, then the very purpose is lost. So Bhagavan is establishing that foundation, in one sense, for this teaching.
Excellent.
I however had another question, and I know this may go back to chapter one or two, and it may sound very silly, so apologies. But why does he choose to tell this during the war? He has been with Arjuna throughout his life, in the Vanvasa and outside. But why does he choose it to tell in ನಂತರ ಯುದ್ಧ ಕಾಲೆ shastrabhyasa ಆಗ್ಲಿಲ್ವಾ? ಅದೊಂದು ನನ್ನ ತಲೆಯಲ್ಲಿ ಇತ್ತು. ಲೈಕ್ ಮೊನ್ನೆ ನನ್ನ ಮಗು ಎಕ್ಸಾಮ್ ಹೋಗ್ತಾ ಇರುವಾಗ ಹಿಂಗ್ ಬರಿ, ಹಂಗ್ ಮಾಡು, ಹಿಂಗ್ ಮಾಡ್ಬೇಡ, ಟೆನ್ಷನ್ ಮಾಡ್ಕೊಬೇಡ ಅಂತ. ಇನ್ನು ವರ್ಷ ಇಡೀ ನಾವು ಪ್ರಿಪೇರ್ ಮಾಡೋದಿದ್ರೆ ಇದು ಯುದ್ಧ ಕಾಲದಲ್ಲಿ he would have not failed. He would have not felt weak when he knew all this while that he's going hammer and tongs with his brothers.
Okay. So
I know, sorry, it is not a relevant question for this chapter.
No. Please don't think that there
No,
is
no, it's
irrelevant
absolutely
questions.
relevant. Yeah.
See, that the very reason why there are 700 shlokas is, if you really notice, the essence is taught in single shloka. But why 700 shlokas? Is because we need a different viewpoint. And when we are seeing it from a different viewpoint, something else also gets clarified. So never there is a wrong question. There can be a wrong answer, but the question cannot be wrong. When can an answer be wrong? When the question is not dissolved, whatever answer that is being given, then it is not yet completed its purpose. So in that sense, the answer can be wrong. But the question is the very basis of realization. So please do not ever undermine your questions. Why does Krishna choose to teach all this knowledge
The nth moment.
now, at the nth moment? Yuddha kaale
Yeah,
shastrabhyasa.
I just said that as a...
No, it is relevant. It kind of gives a context to what is being said.
One thing comes to my mind, Smitaji, strike when the iron is hot.
very good point. Yes. Another way of looking at it.
Yeah. So Arjuna is ready now. So the important thing is, like how Padma Amma also said, and like how Padmaji just now said, he was friend all along, but he never asked, teach me. And even in the Bhagavad Gita, that's why the first chapter is Arjuna Vishada. And notice who is talking there. Duryodhana is talking. Arjuna is lamenting. Sri Krishna simply, whatever he says, take my chariot there, he takes his chariot there. Look at, and he says, okay, look at it. That's all the one sentence that he says in chapter 1, Sri Krishna. In chapter 2 also, at the beginning, Arjuna is only saying, now I am clueless. 2.7, the shloka 2.7 is very critical. What does he say there, Arjuna? Krishna, I am lost. I don't know what I am supposed to do. But you seem to be someone who, now the realization is occurring to Arjuna. You seem to be someone who has been passing through situations, but seem to be very quiet and happy and peaceful. You must know something that I am not able to realize. So, therefore, can you please help me? That is a very earnest call, earnest and an honest seeking. Till that earnestness, that honesty, that I really want to, what Padma Amma said, mumukshatva. See, mumukshatva means the eligibility for liberation. What is the eligibility for liberation? First and foremost, eligibility in any situation of life is you truly wanting that. Without that, it simply cannot happen, can it? So that eligibility. So now his situation is forcing him to feel confused. Okay, I don't know. How do I act? He was not seeking liberation at that point in time. Please notice. Arjuna was not seeking liberation in 2.7. He said, I'm confused about what I'm supposed to do. I don't know how to take the next step. But you seem to be very equipoised. You seem to have done so many things, and you seem to be still quite at peace with whatever you have done. And that is what I'm noticing. He doesn't say all that, but he knows all that. That is why him being the friend of Krishna is very important context. Friend means what? He knows all the things that have happened in Krishna's life. He's been there as a sakha, as a bandhu. So he has seen Krishna up front. So therefore, I see something unique in you. So please help me. That seeking has to arise. Where? Within me. Towards what? Towards something that I feel is higher than me. That is how any learning will happen. Math, English, music, business, spiritual knowledge also. So that is the first reason. It just so happened that the war is the place where it kind of catalyzed. It was always there. Arjuna was kind of, it's like that, no, for most of us. We'll be going through various situations of life, but some situations of life force us to examine the foundation of what we have assumed about life. As a very simple example, with permission of Padmaji, our Padmaji always gives reference to her one of her very personal health situation. Do you want to just give a short description, Padmaji?
Yes, sir. Okay. Yeah. So this is sometime now. It is what, next year? It'll be 10 years. Yeah. So 2015, I had a very big health crisis. So there was a tumor found in my brain, and apparently all the doctors and everyone said that with whatever treatment and all, you will be like 5 to 6 years is what they gave me. And during that time, so it was like, why me, why me, why me first in all that. However, after that, when the why me stopped, then it became like, who are you to tell me? Who are you to tell me that I have only 5 years and all that? But that was the moment of when I started asking them, who are you to tell me? Apparently, all the specialists in that field, that is when I thought that who else can now determine like what is going to happen. And I think that was a true moment of surrender for me to the higher, like who someone who has created me only can say this to me. That was my approach. So when the true surrender came, lot of things happened. There was clarity in how I started thinking towards that problem. That approach changed for me completely. Till that time, like you said, uh, many were around me, my very dear and near ones, my parents, who kept saying that this is nothing, you can beat it. But somewhere I was listening but not implementing. But when there was a moment that when they said, okay, 5 years, is when I thought, okay, somewhere ego also might have popped. But yeah, who are you to tell this? What qualification you have to tell this? So that is when true surrender happened. So yeah. Sir, is that what you were arriving at? Like,
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
So when the true surrender happened, what happened in Padmaji's life is that she started then going deep within. So the very basis of her one is now, her health situation has reversed. So the specialist said 5 years, but it's now been more than 10 years. That itself is an indication of the power within. The power is within you. However, that power within me or the power within you is not always recognized. It is not always seen because the eyes are always outward focused. So that's why it's called as awakening. It has to from within happen. A flower happens not by somebody forcing it. A flower happens because the circumstances are there, but then at the right moment, as the nature of the flower, it blooms. Exactly the same situation for Arjuna. Exactly the same situation for you and me. Bhagavad-gita has been there all along. It's like, for example, knowledge. So 1 plus 2 is equal to 3. Oh, today I learned how to add two numbers. 1 plus 2 is equal to 3. I may come home and run and excitedly tell my mother, father, whoever, I know how to add now. Imagine, maybe the first time you learned something. But where was that 1 plus 2 is equal to 3 till you said it? It's not something that, was created at that moment newly for you. It was already there. But it was lost to you. It was not known to you. It was not known to me. At that moment, when the teacher taught and when I paid attention and I said, I also will learn this. So I had to pay attention. I also had to say, I will listen to this teacher. And then it clicked. Correct. 1 plus 2 is equal to 3. So just like that, knowledge, in a way, like energy, can neither be created nor be destroyed. It is always there in the latent form. But I have to be ready for it. And that's what the significance of this particular shloka, 2.7. Extremely important shloka. The most important shloka. If that earnest awakening happens, if that earnest call happens, Krishna, I really want to realize. It has to be an earnest call, an honest seeking. Then life transforms. Does this bring clarity to your question, Smitaji?
Yes, very well explained by all.
Wonderful. Okay, so it's in a way we have
Sorry, deviated the topic.
No, not at all. Like I said, please do not ever think that there is any deviation. What I have realized is that in the satsangs, what comes is appropriate for whatever the situation of the satsang is. Never have seen anything that is out of the way. Satsang is a magical place where only somehow the right thing for everybody's evolution comes. So please do not ever feel that way. All right, so now it's 7:35. Do we want to continue and at least end the contemplation of 4.2 questions? Is that okay for everybody? Maybe it may take another. Yeah, okay, all right, yeah. So Smitaji, anything more you want to add to the other questions in 4.2?
I'll answer question C, my understanding.
Yeah.
Why is Arjuna being referred? So again, through the through the dialogue between Arjuna and between Bhagavan and Arjuna, Bhagavan is establishing, like I said, the foundation, or saying that this already existed, and also I see it in two ways. One, he is again and again also reprising Arjuna of his role that he plays, and that you have not just one role, and different names he will call as a as a brave person, as a subduer of enemies. So again and again also reminding him of his role, of his action, what he is doing. Also, it is also like a motivational speech. So you're also telling the child, right? Like you're giving the at every step motivating the person to pay attention through the dialogue. That's how I see that. So it is first person. So you're referring to that person. You're giving that person that I am telling you this because you're my friend and devotee, because you are subduer of enemies, you are a brave soul warrior. You're again and again reinforcing that in that person.
Wonderful. Padmaji, would you like to share your any particular views for 4.2 related questions?
Yeah. Yes, sir. So yeah, it's a mix of what everybody shared. So the first question is, why does Krishna choose to teach all this knowledge now? Okay, there was another question. Is that oh, it's coming as the second question. Okay, spiritual knowledge being lost. Okay. So I think I'll take the second question first. So the knowledge, why does he say that it is lost to the world, being lost to the world? So the knowledge has always been there, like the sun. It is, we don't know from when the sun started shining. Similarly, the knowledge is eternal. But the application of knowledge in relation to how we perform the actions, I think that is what he's saying that has been lost to the world. Because having the jnana is one part, but are we really applying it in how we function? I think that is the crux of the teaching of this chapter. So I feel that is what he's commenting on here. It is not that the knowledge has been lost, but it is the application. And I think that I am able to see even in my own life where we are doing contemplation on all this uh, the scriptures for so many years now, but have we been able to apply it completely in every phase of our life is something that that is a question that each one of us needs to address. Uh, Second is, why does he choose to teach all this knowledge now at the end moment? I think, like I said, how it happened in my personal life, like we keep saying some things, or we keep hearing many things that are good for us, but until that moment where we are in a situation helpless, like how Arjuna felt, I think we truly don't receive it. We don't receive it, we don't accept it completely for us to apply it. So that is what is relevant here, I feel. Like Smitaji was telling an example of her kids also, same thing happens with my son. So when you keep, especially math, he doesn't want to practice that much. So if I keep telling, no, you practice this, after a point it becomes an irritation also. But somewhere it is there behind, no, in the head. So either after the paper, if the result is good, then it's like that aha moment. Oh, you told me to practice this, and this is what came in the exam. Or else it is like, okay, I should have listened to her when she said that practice more. So I think it is the same situation for all of us in every situation of our life. For me also, everyone around me except me kept believing that I will overcome this. So I was the only one who was not able to believe, and I was thinking, oh, this doctor is the he's the very qualified person, and what he says is what is going to happen. And there was a fear mongering from that side. So I think somewhere I had to overcome that. So that is what is relevant in this question, I feel. That is why the teaching, it comes at that moment when you are ready for it, completely ready. The last question, why Arjuna is being referred with so many different names, especially parantapa here, subduer of enemies. How I connect it is the biggest enemy and friend is our mind. And he's a subduer. He's called a parantapa because I think he is capable of conquering even the mind. That is what the reference is here. And when he does that, he truly conquers all, as all the battles are within the mind only first. Then only it is translated into actions. So when you conquer the mind, then you truly become the subduer of all enemies, is what I understand. So yeah, thank you.
Wonderful. So for all the questions related to 4.2, one question we can frame as a kind of a bigger question is, where is the world? Most often we point and say that is where the world is. So the one who is pointing is me, and what I am pointing at is the world. But if you notice a little carefully, where is the world truly? You see, you hear, like that, there are five senses. Through them, whatever that comes in is what you and I have given certain names, and we are calling it as world. For example, what is the object I'm showing now? Those who may have used this object may call it as a pen. Let's assume I take this object. There is apparently in the Andaman and Nicobar Islands, there is some island where no human being has been there, meaning the uh, so-called evolved human being hasn't been there, but there are other human beings. Let's assume, they don't eat me up and I get a chance to go to them and I show this object. What do you think they may say when I point at this object and ask, what is this? It may look like something pointed, something that can be used to dig up something. Maybe that is what it is for them. Maybe, I don't know. I'm just making up stories. Like that now, if I simply use a new word to you, have you eaten Kilimanchishi? Do you know what is this thing called Kilimanchishi? Has anyone eaten this? So you may be wondering, it sounds like some Japanese dish, Kilimanchishi. So could be something. But I will say, no, I was just tricking you. I just made up that now. There is no dish called Kilimanchishi. But how about if we make a new dish and let's name it Kilimanchishi? So like that now, I have created a new word and I've created a new meaning to that word in your mind. So like that, world is not out there. The world is in here through the various naming and meaning that you are giving to objects in your mind. So therefore, when someone says, it was lost, it was not lost. It was not known here. Like I said, simple example, you may have kept one of your gold necklace in some place because nobody should come and steal. And let's assume you have forgotten where you've kept. Then you'll be searching everywhere. Maybe you're wearing it and you're searching everywhere. And maybe somebody who knows your gold necklace says, hey, isn't it the one that you're wearing? Oh, yeah, I forgot. So in that sense, it was lost to me. Few moments back, it was lost to me. Now, oh, I know it. So was it really lost? If I ask now that question, no, it was never lost. But I had a thought that it was lost. So similar pointing is happening by Sri Krishna. Arjuna, this knowledge is eternal, which means that it can neither be created nor be destroyed. That is the first statement that we have to realize. Whatever Sri Krishna is teaching is not something that can be destroyed in the first place. Then how can it be lost? So it can be lost only to me. I can be ignorant of that knowledge. So my ignorance is what is making me cry and wail as Arjuna. And therefore now Sri Krishna is pointing, Arjuna, it is your own ignorance. And now that I am ready, because I have already submitted myself to Krishna, Krishna, please teach me. So now, correct. It is not known to me. Correct, Krishna. Correct. It is not that it was not known to or it was not present. I did not recognize. So there is a definition, there is a difference between recognition and having forgotten. I have forgotten and now I'm recognizing. However, Sri Krishna is like that compassionate mother who at times scolds me, like, at the beginning of a second chapter, he scolded me. He said, "Hey, idiot fellow, you talk like a very intelligent fellow, but your actions are not intelligent." He scolded me at the beginning. But here, he's encouraging me. You are a subduer of enemies. Means what? You are parantapa. He's praising me. Why? Because it is in my mind that I have the capacity to examine what is causing all this ignorance. What is that what am I ignorant about? So, like a loving mother, Sri Krishna knows when to give us that little bit of a taunt and when to lift us. So, like that, Sri Krishna is a loving mother, and I just need to trust, not out of blind faith. I can question Krishna. Krishna only gives the permission, as you today would have seen in that shloka. Go to a realized master, ask him all sorts of questions. But please realize, not with an intent of a test for the master, but with an earnest and honest intent of realizing the truth. That's the only difference. So, like that, here Sri Krishna is helping us to realize where is the knowledge lost. It is lost in me. And where can I gain the knowledge? It is in me. When I learn to subdue my enemies, because it is my enemies. Where are they? In my mind. As what? Like how already our Padma Amma also pointed at the beginning. All these various kinds of disturbances in the mind, they have to be subdued. And that is the real preparedness to receive this knowledge. I should have overcome my Arishadvarga, Kama, Krodha, Mada, Matsarya. All these Arishadvargas is what I need to overcome. The 6 enemies. How? I have the capacity. Where? In my own mind. Hari Om. Anything else anybody wants to add or ask?
No, sir.
Wonderful. Then with that,
Anything I'd like to say,
yeah,
I mean, that is the difference between our philosophy versus, in your explaining Western philosophy. There we discovered, we invented is what is used, right?
yeah,
We discovered gravity was always there.
yeah,
Archimedes principle, it always, our spiritual leaders never claimed that.
yeah.
Because if they are only passing on what is the established truth and what Bhagavan is saying. There is no claim to it.
It's an existential knowledge.
Yeah. So there is in whatever whatever has been even documented, it is not claimed in that sense. It is just documented. But
Yeah.
here it is. But
Excellent observation. Yeah.
But in other way, Newton discovered this, or we say this. It is actually not there.
So you all may know the story of our great mathematician Ramanujam. How do you give out all these mathematical equations? He says, Devi speaks through me. That is how Ramanujam says. So a Western approach, a general Western approach, emboldens the ego concept. Newton is who, that form, that person that we see is who we call as Newton. So it emboldens a personality. It builds ego consciousness. Whereas the Eastern philosophy or the Eastern approach to life is to subdue the ego. Because it is at the fundamental root level, ego is the one which blocks one from realizing their true nature. So therefore, one is outwardly focused, achievement focused. One is inwardly focused. Mahavira. There is a Veeratva towards outside world. Alexander went to conquer the world. Bahubali went to conquer the inner world. And we call Bahubali as a Mahavira. But he never conquered anything as much as Alexander did. But still, he conquered everything. Very nice. With that, let's end our today's contemplation. Hari Om.
Hari Om.